Talk about a crusher. Yes! Oh!
Are you kidding me?
And gone!
Welcome back to the Schoolyard Sports podcast. I'm the host of this podcast, Lane Frank. We're on episode 176. There's 176 episodes through, and I got an action-packed episode planned for you. We're back from our 2-week hiatus, and we're ready to go for football season, for everything coming up with Schoolyard Sports. Come up the rest of the summer and the fall. Get ready for it. Today is MLB trade deadline, Olympics rocking and rolling, NFL training camp has started, and so much more. Stay tuned for an action-packed episode 176. Let's hop into it. Let's start off episode 176, how we always do, with our headlines in the NBA. Really not too much going on in the NBA outside of the Olympics, because Team USA obviously should be the best country in the Olympics, but they really haven't been so far, even though they haven't lost yet. Very close game against South Sudan as 40-point favorites, but credit to Luol Deng, everything he's done for that country, for that organization in South Sudan basketball. They have a great team, and it's going to be a tough test for the USA, and it was a tough test for them in the exhibition. It's going to be a much better game this time. At least people think it'll be a better game. South Sudan might even come on top. It's going to be a great game. Last one was very close. LeBron getting the game winner, but they're not down as much anymore, South Sudan. They have very good players, NBA players, some high school players, even Kaman Malawak, who's going to Duke this year. One of the top players in the country on South Sudan. He'll play for them in the Olympics. It's going to be a great game against Team USA coming up. But Team USA basketball, let's see how they can do things. Steve Kerr did not play Jason Tatum the other day. Really interesting move right there, not playing him against Serbia. Joel Embiid played against Serbia against Nikola Jokic. Really seems like for the first time in his career, actually going against Nikola Jokic, because Embiid is always hurt when they play Nuggets. Just happens. It's going to be an interesting Olympics because it's not a surefire thing that the USA wins this. Germany is a very good team still. France has a great team. Victor Wembanyama, Rudy Gobert, some other good guys. Do not doubt some of these other countries. It's not just a guarantee for the US to win the Olympics. Don't doubt these other countries. I want to point that out right there. Really all the news we have in basketball this week. In MLB, like I said, today's the trade deadline, so I'm not going to comment on too many trades because we don't know what's going on yet by the time of this recording. But I want to talk about one thing. My New York Mets, I was a bit disappointed. I went to the game on Sunday against the Atlanta Braves, and they got absolutely toasted. You know what they did? They came back the next day. They played Jesse Winker for the first time as a Met, and they had 15 runs. A great game. Carlos Mendoza has done a great job this season. The Mets have had the biggest revitalization of any team this season on an absolute run. I love to see it. New York Mets on absolute roll so far. One of the best stories in baseball this year, the New York Mets, how they've come back so far. Jazz Chisholm is headed over to the New York Yankees and played pretty well the other night, having 2 home runs. One was off Garrett Stubbs' friend of the show after they were killing the Phillies by so much. But Jazz Chisholm is a very good player. He can take anybody's job on this team, and I liked when someone pointed that out. I think it was John Boy Media. They said, Jazz Chisholm, this is a great trade because he can take anybody's job in the Yankees. He's not limited. He can't just play second base. He can play every position. He can play second base for you. He can play third base for you. He can play center field for you, left field, right field, DH. Play the only ones he can't play are first base, shortstop, and catcher, and pitcher. So he's a very good player, Jazz Chisholm. And I love this move. It puts pressure on Verdugo, puts pressure on Oswaldo Cabrera, definitely puts pressure on DJ LeMahieu. Love this move right here. Puts pressure on Gleyber Torres. It's a great move. Yankees getting Jazz Chisholm. Wish the Mets may have made a move like that. Let's see if they do it later today. Philadelphia Phillies, despite that rough loss to the New York Yankees the other night, are still the best team in MLB. It's not even a question. Phillies are on an absolute roll right now. Best record in MLB. We love to see it. Let's move things over to the NFL. We have training camp and contracts getting done. Tua Tagovailoa is now locked in with the Miami Dolphins, getting a 4-year massive deal, becoming the highest paid player in NFL history until about 2 hours later, Jordan Love gets a bigger deal, becoming the highest paid player in NFL history. I'm going to talk about this Jordan Love deal later, but that's the new quarterback market. You're going to get paid the highest paid player in NFL history. That's just how your deal is going to work. Tua, Jordan Love, they get their big money. We got training camp, preseason, everything coming up for football season. Love to see it, everybody. NFL starting up soon. For the Olympics, some other great sports. Let's talk about tennis in the Olympics. Nadal and Novak Djokovic played their 60th all-time matchup where Novak Djokovic came out victorious. Coco Gauff, one of the best young players in tennis, was the flag bearer for the United States and ended up losing in the second round of the Olympics. Tough loss. Now, referee, some decisions were made that shouldn't have been made, causing Coco Gauff to lose that match. I know she's upset about that, but tough stuff right there. And the USA is still in the lead for the most medals of any country in this year's Olympics. That's part of the headlines this week. So I want to bring up one word right here that every Ohio State fan is all too familiar with this offseason when they talk about their biggest rival, Michigan. Hammer. The Hammer. Because all they say is, the Hammer is going to come down this Michigan football program. Just wait. The Hammer is going to come down. They're going to lose scholarships. They're going to lose their championship. They're going to get wins vetoed. They're going to get everything, a postseason ban. Is the Hammer coming down? Now, 1 year ago, Michigan was in a similar position, you could say. Jim Harbaugh was getting suspended 3 games. It was a rough start to the season already, but Jim Harbaugh was suspended a full 6 games last season, which is pretty rough, but started out as a 3-game suspension a year ago. Now, this season, people are saying a bigger hammer is coming for Michigan because of what happened in the Connor Stallions scandal. Now, what I'm looking forward to is Netflix announced earlier this month that there will be an untold documentary featuring Connor Stallions where he will expose, or at least have a tell-all, to tell us everything that happened in the 3-year dynasty Michigan has had that will hopefully continue. His saga, his play in it. What happened? Was he acting alone? Did this impact Michigan's chances at winning? I'd say no, because Michigan ended up winning 8 games after that, and they're still a great football team. Some people might beg to differ. Connor Stallions documentary is coming out, and the Hammer might be dropping on Michigan soon, with people saying later this week there might be a 1 to 2 year postseason ban. And I doubt that happens, and it's unlikely that happens. But if it does, it'd be unjust, it'd be unfair. That's my take of the week. No Hammer is coming down for this Michigan football program, despite what every blogger, editor, and Ohio State fan wants to say. Now, top 5. This week's top 5 is the top 5 athletes in the world that are 25 or under. Now, there are a lot of great athletes in the world, but the best ones, the young ones, have a great future for the history of their sports. So here are the best 5 athletes in the world, 25 and under, starting with number 5, Ja'Marr Chase. Ja'Marr Chase is one of the best young players in the NFL, amazing receiver. He'll get an amazing contract very soon, hopefully. Mike Brown, the Bengals, time to pay up. But Ja'Marr Chase, number 5, top 5 athletes, 25 and under. Number 4, Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland is incredible. His first year in the Premier League, wins Golden Boot. Didn't win the Ballon d'Or, but won the Golden Boot for the most goals in the Premier League. Won the Premier League, won the Champions League, got them the treble. Was a bit banged up this year. Erling Haaland is still one of the best strikers of all time, skill level-wise, and it's number 4 on my list for athletes 25 and under. Number 3, Luka Doncic, who is still 25 years old. Luka Doncic is incredible at everything he does in basketball, bringing the team to the finals. He came over from Europe. Luka Doncic, kind of crazy to think that he's only 25 for how long he's been in the NBA for. Luka, number 3 on my list. Number 2, 4-time Grand Slam champion, Carlos Alcaraz, the reigning back-to-back Wimbledon champion, the reigning French Open champion, and the one-time US Open champion. Still has one Australian Open. He'll get it one day. Carlos Alcaraz is one of the best athletes in the world. Only 21 years old. Still got a great future ahead. He can maybe one of the best players of all time, or the best player of all time when it's all said and done. Carlos Alcaraz, number 2, maybe an Olympic title to that name at the end of this week. We'll see. Number 1, Kylian Mbappe, a World Cup victory at the age of 19, a World Cup semifinal appearance at the age of 23. Now head over to Real Madrid and one of the biggest contracts ever. Kylian Mbappe, one of the best players of all time, Ballon d'Or finalist every year it seems like. Kylian Mbappe is incredible, number 1 player, number 1 athlete, 25 or under on my list, and that's about for top 5 this week. Now, did you know? This week's Did You Know is, did you know Madison Bumgarner had more home runs hitting in 2014 than Derek Jeter did his whole entire career? So back when pitchers used to hit, Madison Bumgarner hit more home runs in 2014, Grand Slams 2014, than Derek Jeter did his whole entire career. Didn't know that? Leave that in the comments. Ask about for Didn't Know this week. Now I got a scream for everybody. I got a big Schoolyard Sports scream coming on this week. Now let's do it. I'm screaming on the new college football playoff format. I get it. Realignment happened. I get it. We need bigger teams at the playoffs. But this new format is horrible. 12 teams. Sounds ridiculous to me. You can get a 3-loss team in there. You can get a 4-loss team in there. You can lose a bunch of games to get to the playoffs now. We used to be a civilized sport where you had to win every single game to get in the playoff, where every single snap was do or die. We're never going to get that feeling again. I've talked about this for months. We need to get rid of conference championship games in college football. It's a joke. Because now, with the new playoff format, you win your conference, you're an automatic qualifier. You can get an automatic bid. You can get an automatic bye. You can get whatever. You're in the college football playoff. So let's break it down. We've seen weak conference championship games before. We've seen 1 Alabama versus 25 Florida. We've seen 1 Clemson versus 15 North Carolina. We've seen 1 Clemson versus unranked Pitt. Now in the new college football playoff, where there's weak conferences, okay, maybe you got one really dominant team going up against a really weak team in the conference championship, and that weak team ends up winning that game. They're in the playoff. It's a bid stealer. It's a joke. It's like college basketball with bid stealers, but shouldn't be that way. It's college football, not college basketball. Bid Steelers are great in college basketball. We saw it this year with NC State. Their miraculous run to the Final Four. Cool, good for them. That's college basketball. This is not a thing in college football, and it shouldn't be a thing in college football. College football is too much hard work, too much fun, too much long of a season. It's a great sport. It should be do or die every single game, every single snap. It's never going to be like that again. I want all of you to go look at the college football playoff rules and see how much of a joke, how idiotic this new format is. Bring us back to 4 or bring us lower. Even keep us at 12. But figure out some new format and get rid of conference championship games once and for all. I call on every conference commissioner to do that, to remove conference championship games. It's going to fail. Watch it this year and watch it fail. Then come back to me. That's about Schoolyard Sports Scream this week. Now, I got a spotlight for you right here, everybody. It's a good spotlight. When have we ever seen in the world where somebody does a great thing? They have a great year. They have a great month. They have a great week. And you give them a massive promotion. You give all your trust into them for the rest of your future. You give all that to them. We don't really see it after 1 year. You need more than 1 year. You need more than 1 week. You need more than 1 month. What if it's about 18 weeks? You give all your future to that guy after just 18 weeks. And he wasn't that incredible in 18 weeks. He was good. He wasn't incredible in 18 weeks. You say, I'm going to make you the highest paid person in this company's history. Well, that's what the Green Bay Packers just did for Jordan Love, giving him the most money ever in NFL history per year. It's a joke. It's a complete joke. I love Jordan Love. I think he's going to be a really good quarterback. But to be worth this contract after this year, I get it. He was benched for a lot of years, and his contract is ending soon. But you don't need to give him this massive contract. Give him a Daniel Jones level contract. Not this type of contract, because Jordan Love is a good quarterback who has won 1 playoff game in his 1 season starting. Well, if that's a fluke year, we've seen fluke years before. Look at Baker Mayfield. Look at all these guys. There's many guys who had fluke years in the NFL. What if we see that right here from Jordan Love? I don't want it to happen. I don't think it'll happen. But the Packers just made the biggest gamble in NFL history with this deal right here. They're putting their whole future. They're putting everything into Jordan Love. They're putting all their money into Jordan Love. And let's see if it pays off. But I don't think it will. That's about my Schoolyard Sports Spotlight this week. Time to watch out, Packers fans. Let's see if it works. But he's not going to be worth the highest paid player in NFL history. He's going to be a good quarterback. But that's why I don't think it works, because he's not going to be the highest paid player in NFL history value-wise. Yet he's paid like it. It's a joke. That's the new NFL market is. Again, I'm a Jordan Love supporter. I have been since he got drafted. To be paid this money after 18 weeks of starting, it's not worth it, everybody. That's about my Spotlight this week. So there's a lot of interesting Olympic sports. I know a lot of people think, oh, this sport looks so easy. Look at handball. I know me and 15 of my friends, because we could probably win a gold medal in handball because it looks super easy. But that's just how it looks from on TV. These games look very fun, look very interesting. I want to get your guys' thoughts on what's a sport you think you could win a gold medal in without any training. If you just thought about it right now, I could do really well in this sport. What would it be? Could it be surfing? It's like, I'm a decent surfer. I could surf those 80-foot waves in Tahiti right now, which is kind of crazy that surfing is in Tahiti and the rest of the Olympics is in Paris. Some people think tennis is so easy. It's, just get in front of the ball, hit the ball as hard as you can. That's another point right there. So some very interesting sports in the Olympics. It's like, I could run super quick for about a mile and win that race, win the track and field. I could do this gymnastics thing. It's very tricky, all these sports in the Olympics. But there's a lot of interesting ones too, like handball. So maybe you're a master at table tennis. Maybe you're a master at ping pong. Funny stuff like that right there. What's a sport you think you could excel in the Olympics? It seems so easy. What sport could you excel in? Now, I really think I'd be good at handball. Seems very easy. Seems like you have a good chemistry with your team. You'd be able to win it against any country in the world if you just don't try these dumb strategies all these teams are trying to do. Let's just say, hey guys, let's just go out there. Let's throw this handball into the net. Easy as that. Leave your thoughts in the comments. What's an Olympic sport, interesting Olympic sport that you think you could do so well in? Now, at the buzzer. This week's At the Buzzer is about Caleb Williams, because we've got the Hall of Fame game coming up this week, and the Bears are in the Hall of Fame game. Now, I don't know if Caleb Williams is going to play in this Hall of Fame game, but it officially kickstarts his rookie season in the NFL, and what I think is the most pressure-packed rookie season of any sports player of all time. For everything Caleb Williams has had, all the hype. A lot of players have had hype before. Not this kind of hype. A lot of players have had hype before of a big level, but they haven't put it on themselves. Caleb Williams is cashing his own checks, it seems like. It's not LeVar Ball saying, Lonzo's going to be the greatest of all time. It's not Caleb Williams' dad saying that. It's Caleb Williams himself saying, I'm a very good player. I have all these demands. I think I'm going to be a great player in the NFL. Here are my demands. Everything he's tried to do business-wise with the NFL. He tried to get his contract as a lease. He tried to get his contract to an LLC. NFL said no to everything. There's a lot of things that people dislike about Caleb Williams. And it's going to be this rookie season where he can say, shut up, I'm a great football player, or he proves them right. And then Caleb Williams can fall off a cliff. Fall off a cliff, because I've seen it before with athletes. He's putting a lot of pressure on himself, and maybe he can cash his own checks. But if his card gets declined, it's going to be a rough sledding for his career, because everybody's going to point back to this rookie season. Peyton Manning had a rough rookie season. It happens. He bounced back, but he didn't put this much pressure on himself for his rookie season. Caleb Williams has the most pressure of any rookie of all time, in my opinion. It's going to be a great season, and he has a great team around him. Let's hope he does well, because if he doesn't, if his card declines and he doesn't cash in his own checks, it's going to be a rough career for Caleb Williams. I'm calling it right now. Trevor Lawrence had a lot of hype his first year. Didn't have a great rookie season, tried to bounce back after his second year, had a great second year, and struggled last year. It's a big year now for Trevor Lawrence with that contract. We've seen it before. Caleb Williams, can he fall down that Trevor Lawrence path, or can he have a great rookie season and have a great career? Let's see if it happens. That's about it for At the Buzzer this week. Now, the best for last question of the day. This week's question of the day is, who has had a better year? New York sports teams or LA sports teams? Let's break it down. LA Kings didn't really have a good year. New York Rangers had a great year, making it all the way to the conference finals. New York Knicks had a great season. LA Lakers, LA Clippers, not such a great season. Let's look at New York Giants. Okay, really bad year. New York Jets, really bad year. But Los Angeles Rams, decent year. Los Angeles Chargers, decent year. So, kind of up in there. Who has had a better year in the past year? New York sports teams or LA sports teams? Leave your thoughts in the comments. That's about it for Schoolyard Sports with Lane Frank, episode 176. Thank you for tuning in. Follow Schoolyard Sports on Instagram at Schoolyard Sports. Follow Schoolyard Sports on X at Schoolyard Sport. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review for the best sports content in the world. We'll be back here next week, episode 177. Stay tuned.